Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to talk to you about this super cute little harp. This is called the Esabelle. It's a cross-strung harp, and it has 22 natural strings, which I think adds up to 38 strings in total. And this is basically the little sister of my giant Rebecca harp over here. This one is also made by Stoney End. And this one is made in cherry wood. I picked this up on Facebook actually for a really good price. I was very excited about it. But you can see it's a little bit older, like the wood has darkened a lot. It doesn't have that new cherry color that's kind of more honey. This one is quite a bit darker. I really love it. So I wanted to tell you about some of the specifics of this harp, especially as compared to its big sister, the Rebecca. But I do want to add a caveat that I think this is an older model. I'm not sure exactly what year it is, but some of the things that are differences may just be differences between production methods, what Gary Stone used to do and what he's doing now. So this harp is a 22 string for its natural strings harp, but it is quite a bit bigger than a lot of 22 strings you would normally see. And I think a lot of that has to do with you have to make room for the cross strings. The Rebecca is the same way. It's quite a bit bigger than a 30 string harp. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you kind of how easy that is to hold. It's not very heavy at all. I think it's probably around 8 pounds maybe. So it's not super heavy, but it's not as light as, say, like a harpsichord either. And just to give you an idea of its size next to the bigger Rebecca, so here you have this one. It's pretty tall, and this is obviously sitting on a stool, but you can see it's quite a bit more handheld. Now, just to give you a bit of an overview on cross-strung harps, if you're not already familiar, it's actually a super simple concept, but seems really complicated. So basically you have 2 rows of strings, and you can see one row of strings starts on this side of the neck and one row starts on this side. And this row over here is all of the white notes on a piano. So basically your usual harp you have on the right side on top over here. And on the top left side over here, you have strings that are basically all of the black keys of a piano. So they do form a pentatonic scale. And then they are actually anchored on the opposite side of the soundboard. So these strings kind of cross in the middle like this. That way you have access to both the natural and the sharper flat notes with both of your hands while you're playing. One strange quirk of this, though, is while you are playing the natural notes with your right hand on top, you're playing them with your left hand. Here, I'll show you. You play them with your left hand down here on the bottom. So it definitely makes for some interesting chord shapes, especially when you're trying to add in some of the sharps and the flats. It can be a little tricky. But that's your basic intro to what the cross-strung harp is. So let me tell you a little bit more about the Esabelle. The Esabelle has a range that goes down from G below middle C, so down here. And then you go up to middle C, and 1 C above that, and 1 C above that, and then it goes all the way up to that G. So you've got basically 3 full octaves, G to G. And then, of course, it includes all of those sharp and flat notes in between. So your highest note on the sharp side is an F sharp, and your lowest note down here is actually a G sharp. Now, an interesting feature of this Esabelle that's different from my Rebecca, again, I don't know if this is just something that changed with time or if this is actually a difference between the two. On the Esabelle, you can sort of see the sharp notes. The strings are all black, which I think was a feature of the original cross-strung harps made in the early 1900s, which were, of course, looked like big giant pedal harps. They were very different from these that we have today. But I do believe on those the strings are black, the sharp strings are black. And honestly, I don't think that I prefer it. The Rebecca, the strings are all just clear as you would normally have, except for the F sharps and the C sharps, which are strung in blue and red respectively. Just like you'd have on a normal harp. And I think for me it's a little bit easier to visualize that. Something that I do really like about the Esabelle is because it is smaller, it is a lot more portable. And Gary Stone even adds these little harp straps. Well, I guess technically they're guitar strap buttons because you'd use a guitar strap. So you got one down here and one on the side over here. And then you can strap the harp on and you can actually carry it around and play it, which is kind of a neat idea. So if you're actually going to strap the harp on, this is kind of what that looks like. It sits at just a little bit of an angle just because of the way the strap works, but it is really steady. Like, it doesn't really move a whole lot when you're playing. Personally for me, it's a lot easier than trying to use like a lap harp stick or something like that, because it does stay really well. It's super stable. And finally, I'm just going to play around a little bit on this and give you kind of an idea of what this harp really sounds like. Absolutely gorgeous, in my opinion. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions about this harp or any of the other harps, just go ahead and leave it down in the comments and I will be sure to answer you. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Hello everybody, and thank you so much for watching my channel. If you want to click the subscribe button right up there, then you can subscribe to my channel and see all my new videos. And if you would like to check out my Patreon, the link is down there in the description. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful day.